Ever been out with a woman or approached a woman and everything is going amazing, everything is good and great, and then suddenly it just sort of stops and fizzles like a North Korean missile? She's backed away. Maybe things have been going on for weeks and things have been going great, and then all of a sudden she stops. I was at the gym once and I met this lovely girl named, we'll call her Butterfly. And we began to kick it, we began to date, and we began to see each other, and all of a sudden one day, without warning or anything, she just sort of stops. Like, what happened? What went wrong? Well, come to find out later on, there were a couple of things that I did on my part that made her want to back away. Now, if you're like I was in this situation that I just explained has happened to you, or continues to happen to you, then you're running into a little problem called attraction killing, or you've killed your attraction. Now, this isn't about the guy whose approach is terrible. This is for the guy who your approach is good, but somewhere in between that initial contact, you fumbled the ball. It's not that you were nervous. I mean, women are absolutely used to men being nervous. It happens all the time. Every woman is different. So there's no master key for every woman, but there is a master key for the things that you're doing that keep you ending up in the same place every single time. So that's the question. What are the biggest attraction killers that most men are guilty of? Well, number one is that your sexual intent is way too high. This is one of those things that kills the situation in the beginning. Within the first few minutes of the conversation or the first few days, you've made an obscenely large amount of sexual connotation, sexual innuendos, while you're trying to communicate with this girl. A sexual comment is always coming out of your mouth every single second. You're far too aggressive. And this is going to close that door immediately. Yes, I want you to escalate, but you don't want to make this woman feel like a piece of meat. Remember, this is for the guys who have the issue right from the beginning, right after the opening. If you've been communicating with this woman and dating her and seeing her for a while, like 3 weeks, 4 weeks, then we expect you to be escalating a little bit. Now, if there's no reciprocation, then this woman probably isn't the right woman for you. She's probably not interested in sleeping with you and you need to move on. Number two, you've got a really short attention span. Texting or playing with your phone, looking around the room with other women, you can't keep your eyes on her. You have no idea what she's saying. You have no idea how to use your active listening skills. And this is one of the fastest ways to turn a woman off and to kill the attraction that you're trying to build. You have to make her feel at least worthy of some way of your attention. Otherwise, why would you want to talk to her in the first place? Yes, we are in a hyperactive culture. And all over the place, everything is just whistles and beeps and squirrel. You have to learn how to keep your attention on her, at least for the time being, whilst you're hanging out with her, in order for her to feel like, wow, this guy's really interested in me. And because he's interested in me, I'm gonna have some interest in him. Number three, you talk too much. Homeboy, you never shut up. I said you talk too much. Homeboy, you never shut up. All you're doing is bragging about who you are and what you can do for her, how you can make her life better, how much money you've got, what you're driving. You can put a great big ring on her finger and take care of her. You're trying to impress her by exaggerating the truth. We want you to impress her. Yes, it's important. Give important information about yourself, but bragging, talking about yourself all the time is a huge turn off to women. It's akin to you taking longer than she does in the mirror. No woman wants that. It's almost like clickbait on the internet, intimidating you, inundating you with information until you press the button when you know there's going to be a virus there. Number four, you have terrible topics. The things you have to talk about are just not interesting. They're boring. They're dull. You're either talking about really risque things like your ex-girlfriend or politics. I mean, unless you have a really good joke about the sitting president or the government as a whole, the whole political thing just needs to be put to rest until the conversation gets into more depth and you spend more time with this girl. But if you're too deep at the beginning, you run the risk of scaring her off, especially if you're negative about multiple topics. The negativity that starts from the jump, she's going to assume that this negativity is going to keep going. Number five, you're just far too drunk. So you're out for the night at a pub with your lads and your friends and you're maybe at a party or a kegger or something like that. And you just steamed up, pissed as a fart, too much sauce, son. You're drunk. You're so drunk you couldn't handle a woman in your condition. The last thing you want to do is to get back to hers and vomit all over her while the coitus is happening. Forget getting back to hers. You got to get past your breath first. The burping and the gaseous emissions that are definitely going to be coming out of your body are much worse when you're drunk. You lose all your swag and you become crude. You're probably going to be cursing and you're probably going to get a little too physical. Constantly looking for approval is number six. You're like little orphan Oliver saying, please sir, may I have another? Yes, I want you to be nice, but not to the point of putting her on some sort of high pedestal with everything you do, that you have to get her approval. This is for all the long-term sorts of relationships that you're with the girl and suddenly things change and she decided she can walk all over you. I mean, you're just doing anything and everything to get her attention and her approval. Stop that. Yes, she's beautiful, she smells good, she's sexy as the dickens, but that doesn't mean that you have to bow down to her every whim to keep yourself in that mindset. She's just a girl, no different than me. Just remember, guys, be yourself. Don't try to be Mr. Cool if that's not who you are. Don't send your representative. Women like a man who is genuine and doesn't constantly try to impress her. Just be you. Knowing who you are and being confident in the fact that you know who you are and know exactly what you want lets her know that you're exactly the type of guy she's interested in, because she's not looking for someone who's floundering around trying to be someone he's not. Be you, be genuine, and stop killing the attraction. We'll see you next time. Don't forget to like and subscribe below the video. Questions, comments, concerns. You want to see me dance a jig or strip? Never mind, not that. I won't do that. But like and subscribe below.